So hello everyone, I am back again. My name is Arindiri and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. So this video is the continuation of our DSS series, and in this video we are going to discuss a new problem in basic mathematics. The problem is print all the divisors. Alright, so what we have to do, let me explain you the question. Let's say we have given a number n equals to 36. We have to print all the numbers which can divide this input number completely. For example, 1 can divide this number completely, 2 can divide this number completely. How? 36 by 2, 18. Alright, the remainder will be 0. Alright, so 2 can divide this number completely, 3 can divide this number, 3 12s are, 4 can divide this number, 4 9s are 36, 5 cannot, 6 can divide this number, 6 6 are 36, 7 cannot, 8 cannot, 9, yes, 9 4s are 36, and then 10 cannot, 11 cannot, 12 can divide this number completely, 12 3s are 36. Alright, 12 13 cannot, 14 cannot, 15 cannot, 16 cannot, 17 cannot, 18 can divide this number, 18 2s are 36, and then the 36 can divide this number. So all these numbers can divide this number completely, so we have to print all these numbers. Alright, we have to print all these numbers which can divide this completely. So I hope you have understand what we have to do in this question. So let me write down the pseudo code for this problem. All right, so pseudo code. All right, so we will discuss the most naive approach, the brute force approach, in which we can solve this question. All right, so we will run a for loop from I equals to 1 to the number itself. All right, so you can see that the I is starting from the 1, the number is starting from the 1, and number is going to 36, means the number itself. All right, so we will run the for loop from 1 to n. All right, so what we will do, we will check if n modulus I equals to 0, that means the I can divide this number completely. So we will print, what we will print, we will print I. All right, so this is the most naive approach in which we can solve this question. We are running a for loop from 1 to n, then we are checking if the n modulus I is equals to 0, that means the remainder is, if the remainder is 0 after dividing this number, we are printing this number because this number can divide this n completely. All right, so this is the most naive approach. Let me show you the code. All right, so let me write down the code. So what we have to do, we have to extract, we have to find all the numbers, and then we have to return an array of all the divisors. All right, so first of all we will create an array, a vector in C++. All right, of type int, let's say the name is n. Then what we were doing, we were running a for loop. All right, so for loop from I equals to 1, I less than n. All right, I plus plus. What we were checking, if n modulus I is equals to 0, then what we will do, we will push answer dot push underscore back I. If n modulus I is equals to 0, we will store that I, that number, into our answer array. All right, and then what we will do, we will run return our answer. Okay, so this is the most naive approach in which we can solve this question. Let me run this code, let me submit this. All right, so we have to run this till n equals to I is less than or equals to n. All right, so let me run this. All right, so here you can see that our test case is, so you can see here our test case is successfully submitted, but this code, this approach can fail somewhere. All right, so let me submit this code. All right. All right, so you can see we are getting a runtime error on test case number 1110. All right, why? Because time limit is exceeding. So what we have to do now, we have to optimize this solution. Now let me try to optimize this. So what can we do? Let's do an observation. The number was 36. All right. So and what the devices, what the numbers can divide this number completely? The number was 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18 and 36. Do we observe something? 1 into 36 equals to 36. All right. 2 into 18 equals to 36. 3 into 12, 36. All right. 4 into 9, 36. 4 9 is 36. All right. Then 5 cannot 6 into 6 equals to 36. What you will see after this, let me write down here. 6 into 6 equals to 36, and then you will see 9 into 4 equals to 36. Just reverse of this. 4 into 9, we are writing here 9 into 4, and then you will see 12 into 3, 36. All right, reverse of this. Then what? 18 into 2, which is 36. Reverse of this. All right, and then 36 into 1, which is equals to 36. You can see 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 6 6 9 9 12 12 18 18 36 36. All right, so we have covered all the case, all the we have printed all the numbers, but you can see that we are again checking for the same numbers. All right, so we have checked for the 1 into 36 for one time, and then again we are checking for the 36 into 1. All right, we have already checked for the 4 into 9, and again we are checking for the 9 into 4. All right, so why we are doing the same steps till the last number. All right, so you will observe here that till this number we have already extracted all the divisors. How? If this is a divisor, that means this is also a divisor. This is a divisor, that means this is also a divisor. This is a divisor, that this means this is also a divisor. This is, that means this is also. All right, this is, and this is same number. So we don't have to run our for loop till the last number. We can run our loop till this number, and we can store the first number, which is 1, and the second number, which is the number, input number divided by this number. The first number will be 2, and the second divisor will be 36 divided by 2, which is 18. 36 by 2, which is 18. All right, so in this way, if we run our loop from 1 to 6 in this example, we can get all the divisors. All right, we don't have to run our loop for these steps also. So let me write down the pseudocode for this. All right, so can we observe something? What is this number if you take the square root of 36, you will get 6, and we have to run our loop, till 6, till this number. So what I can say, we have to run our for loop from I equals to 1 to under root of 36. All right, in till this number we can find all the divisors. All right, so what will be the condition? If our n modulus I is equals to 0, then we will check for the last condition where both the numbers are same. So we will check if I is equals to n by I, then what we will do, if I is not equals to n by I, then what we will do, we will print the I, and then we will print the n by I. All right, if this condition is not true, that means we are in this step, and in this step if we print this or this, that will be true. All right, so what we can do, else we can print either I or n by I, and then after this we will close the for loop. So this is the pseudocode for the optimized version. All right, so let me show you the code. All right, so this is the vector. In this vector we will store our answer. What we were doing, we were running a for loop, I equals to 0, I equals to 1, I less than or equals to n sqrt. This sqrt is a function. This sqrt is a function in C++ which can calculate the square root of any number. All right, so what we have to find, we have to find the square root of n, and then we will increment the I. All right, so what we were checking, if n modulus I is equals to 0, then we were checking another condition, which was if I is not equals to what, n by I, then what we will do, we will push our answer, push underscore back, we will push I into our answer array, and then we will push our n by I in our answer array. All right, and then what we will do, we will, if both the numbers are same, you can see here, if both the numbers are same, we will either push one or either push I or n by I. We can push either of them. All right, and then what we will do, we will return the answer. But in this question we have to return the list of the divisors in ascending order, so we have to sort this answer. All right, so in this C language we have a sort function which can sort the array. Answer dot begin, answer dot end, and this will sort the array. So let me compile and run this code. All right, so we have missed something. Okay, yeah. All right, so you can see our test case is successfully submitted. Now let me submit the code. Now you can see that our code is successfully submitted, and our all test cases are successfully passed. All right, so this is the optimized approach where we were running a for loop from I equals to 1 to under root 36. I hope you have understand why we are running our loop from I to 36, and you have understand this observation which we have done here. All right, so thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed this video. We will discuss we will meet in the next video, and we will discuss some more problems related to basic mathematics. We will discuss 3 to 4 more problems in basic mathematics, and then we will move to our main data structures like array, linked list, and stack, queues, and all right, so thank you for watching this video. We will meet in the next video. Till then, bye bye.